Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scarlet Nexus, a third-person action RPG. Let me show you what it's like. But first, can I just say, I really like this art style. I really do. I mean, to be honest, I'm just kind of a sucker for the anime style in general, especially when it's really well done, which it is in this game. And I realize it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not everyone's preferred thing, but I do really like this style. I really do. Now, the two characters you see on the screen here are the two characters you can choose from at the start of the game. Let me just pretend to start a new story here. So we have, on the right, we have Kasane, who is the ranged character of the two. And on the left, we have Yuito, the melee character of the two. Now, they both have the same ability, psychokinesis, telekinesis, whatever you want to call it. They both have the same primary ability, so you're not choosing between abilities. It's just whether or not you want to be up close and personal with an enemy or at a more ranged distance. Now, when I say ranged distance, I don't mean, shooting at them from like 20 feet away. Kasane still needs to be reasonably close to them, but further away than Yuito would need to be. That's really the only difference between the two. The overall game doesn't change. The story doesn't change. The only real difference story-wise is that you see it from a different character's perspective. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, it's not a game-changing choice, shall we say. So, let's load into the game now. And I'm going to try not to spoil story for you here, if I can. But, as is the case with story-driven games, especially RPGs, that might not always be the case. So if I do spoil things, I apologize, that's not my intention. So, first of all, you can see that the overall world design is actually pretty decent. You can kind of tell that the distance objects over there haven't had as much detail put into them. But I don't mind that at all, in all honesty. If you can't walk up to it, I'm not overly concerned with that personally. Everything close by, however, is detailed quite nice. I do like it a lot, especially the more mechanical aspects of this game. And I just realized that there are literally cameras pointing everywhere. Oh god, it's the... There's a term for that, I forget what it is. Anyway, the animations are very smooth and they're nicely done. And you can tell that the models have had quite a bit of attention paid to them. And yes, I am playing as Kasane, because personally I prefer ranged options when given one. I don't know why, but that's always the case for me. Give me a choice between someone with a sword or someone with a range attack, I'll go for the range attack. So we're going to head up here, actually. We're going to push the story forward a little bit. Mainly because I want to show you how conversations between characters take place, how the story progresses, what that is like. So let's just head up here, get to our next story point. I'm kind of hoping as well to be able to get into a combat situation to show you what that's like. If one doesn't happen naturally, I think I can go to a side area to force one.
With his performance in that training exercise.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
The cut to be my sister's boyfriend.
By the way, yes, in case you're wondering, every single trope in anime is present in this game. Whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, again, personal preference. Some characters are annoying, but then they're designed to be, so,
I wonder what he thinks of Naomi. I should ask.
It's one of those things that comes down
I'm sure he
to
likes her.
personal preference, whether you like stereotypes or not, I suppose.
Kasane, you have deployment orders. A large group of others has been sighted. The location is an abandoned subway. I need you to head over there right away. Copy that. What about Naomi? She's already on her way. Get your orders from the major once Kyoko platoon is all together. Got it.
I'll worry about Yuito later.
So this game's form of radio communication is through what's known as brain message. The best I can figure out is that everyone is linked by some kind of device which sends messages direct to their brains. I don't know, they haven't really gone into detail about that yet, but that's the best I can figure out. It does seem like we're going to get to go into combat if we follow what we're supposed to do, so we can just switch maps by pressing up, as you can see in the top right corner there. Abandoned Subway, Suo Line 9 is where we're supposed to be heading, so we can press up, bring up the world map, and then your next objective is always highlighted by the exclamation mark. So that's where we're supposed to go. So let's go ahead and go to this place, move to the station. Yes, let's go. And this is kind of good because it sounds like they're going to put somebody in our party, which is excellent because I get to show that to you as well, which is important. It's a huge part of the game and one of the best aspects of the combat system. And I can't show it to you if I don't have any party members with me.
Kyoko platoon has assembled.
Thank you, Haruka. Okay, you've all heard the situation from Haruka. It looks like there's a swarm of others in these abandoned subway lines. The extinction belt has descended to lower altitudes, so now they're underground. I'm sure you all know about it, but let's confirm for the newbies. Naomi, tell me what you know about the extinction belt.
It's an abnormal phenomenon that's thought to have appeared because of the spring of extinction. It's gathered near Earth's stratosphere and surrounds the planet. The others are born inside the extinction belt and have been observed descending to the Earth's surface, but not much else is known.
That's right. So, you should never go near a place where the extinction belt is thick. Others could show up anywhere. It's very dangerous. Also, the extinction belt contains particles that may jam our communications. If that happens, you can only count on Haruka's telepathy.
Without the help of the communicator, my telepathy will only transmit one way. Pray the communicators don't go down.
I'll also have to take control of the whole company, so Gemma will be temporary platoon commander.
What? Why Gemma?
Shiden, if you have a complaint, we'll talk about it after this operation. Gemma, I'm counting on you.
Roger.
This will be a joint operation between the 7th and 8th Company from the 1st Regiment and the 1st and 2nd Company from the 2nd Regiment. This is a large-scale operation, so I need you all to refrain from going off on your own.
Kyoko platoon, maintain the front line and move toward Point Alpha. Shiden, Kasane, and I will connect our SAS. Naomi will support us from the rear. Move out.
Understood.
Ah, 3-man team. Excellent. Brain Drive is ready for use. Oh, it's a new thing. Amazing. Brain Drive is a state of increased focus, temporarily granting various buffs such as increased attack, movement, and psychokinesis speed. The Brain Drive gauge fills up by performing actions such as defeating enemies or receiving damage and will activate automatically when completely filled. Okay, so it basically makes you hit harder, move faster, and yeah. Close the tutorial. Yes, you can. Okay, so the main...
This is the subway.
Kasane, I'm trying to talk.
Shh,
Shh,
The
shh.
Suo Line 9 was pretty heavily damaged by others.
Don't encourage her, Haruka.
It's closed off now.
Don't encourage her, please.
Dangerous, so be careful.
Alright, I'll let them finish talking, then I'll carry on.
So,
So, the way you saw earlier, that's how the story is told to you. In the form of like a combination of slight animation and comic book style kind of thing. And again, I really like that style of doing things, especially in a game like this. It wouldn't fit every game, obviously, but in this kind of thing it does, and I absolutely love that. Now, the main things on the screen here for combat reasons. Obviously in the bottom center you have the members of the party and their names. The red wavy line is the health, and the purple, what I can only describe as some kind of wave chart, is unique to the characters you're controlling, Kasane or Ulyster, depending on who you've chosen. And that indicates how much power you have for using their abilities, which revolves around objects in the environment. In this case, it's this bench here. If I was to press and hold R2 now, I'd be able to throw it.
This is a good time to review our recent battle data.
Which you can use against enemies to obviously hit them, occasionally stun them, and to increase your combo count to, again, do more damage over time. Now, as you saw, when I did that, the bar went down slightly, and it does refuel over time. It refills fast because I'm not currently in combat, but if I was fighting something, it wouldn't fill that quickly. The way you would fill it up
There's something over
during
there.
combat would be by hitting things. Okay, now these items are collectibles that you can find in a map. They're usually to do with information which you can sell to a shop. There we go. Subway environment ×2. I'll explain that when we get out of here. I can actually get to it. Oh, there's actually a shop here. Excellent. So these guys are a combination save point and a shop. Save point is self-explanatory, shop is self-explanatory, but the shop here is slightly different in this game. You can buy things, you can sell things, but you can also exchange things. Namely, the data points like we just picked up then. With the exchange system, this is the only way you can get certain items. So, like this one for example, improved arrowroot leaf. This is a weapon for Kasane. You cannot buy this from the shop normally, only her base weapon. But in the exchange system, I exchanged her base weapon and into data points to get this. And it's the same for many other things that you can only get in the exchange portion. You need data points to buy them. So that's important. Don't make the mistake of selling data points for money because they're not really worth that much. They are much better used for exchanging for items. So, you know, don't do what I did first of all and just like sell a couple of these thinking, well, you know, I got 15 of these, whatever. If I sell them all, it's like, I don't know, a couple of hundred. I don't know what they call their money in this game. I'm just going to call it money. A couple of hundred money. Let's cancel that so I don't accidentally buy things. So that's how the shop works. The party system works. I pushed the wrong button. I always do that. It's the options, not the touchpad. Here we go. Oh, my brain map has been extended. Brain map is this game's version of a skill tree. And honestly, any game that has a skill tree gains an extra point in my book. You know, the imaginary point system. Because it means that you can build your character exactly how you want to. You know, it's not like a predetermined thing. If you want to build them a certain way, you can. If you want to play through it again and try a different pathway, you can. And I love systems like this in all games. It's my jam, if I had to describe it in a weird way. So what does this do? Brain drive gauge accumulation plus 20%. Specific. So this would increase how fast a brain drive gauge fills up. That sounds good, considering it increases your attack power. So let's go for that. We've got 2 brain points left, so let's go ahead and just activate that, which is fantastic. I didn't realize it expanded over time. I just thought the ones you had up here were it for the whole game, but that's fantastic. SAS is the system to do with linking all the party members together. Essentially what it means is you can choose which button you push for each ability. Now the way this works is you can use your party members' abilities to enhance your own. You may have heard Gemma say that he has defensive abilities. I haven't used his yet, but if I had to guess, I would go ahead and say that you take less damage while his is active. It makes sense. Shiden's is electricity based, so you can add his electricity to your own attacks, which would add the lightning element to them. That's pretty much what that means. And which way was supposed to be going? Over this way? Okay. Now on the minimap in the top right corner, you will be able to see where items you can pick up are. And it's these glowing green things here. In that case, I've picked up a light jelly, which is a healing item. Those are enemies. And in the bottom left corner, you can switch between items to use. And then if you want to use one, you just press the down button. Simple as that, nice and easy. So let me see, I think we've got everything set up. I don't really have any weapons to give these guys beyond their base ones. Kasane is already equipped with her newest weapon, so let's get into it and show you what combat is like. So you can lock onto them with the R3 button. Those symbols mean that they've seen us. Oh, we're gonna get an explanation of Gemma's ability. By borrowing Sclerokinesis? Sure, let's go with that. Sclerokinesis. You harden your entire body and render enemy attacks ineffective. Yeah, I thought so. You take less damage, rather. Well, it sounds like you take no damage. The effective time shortens with the number of enemy attacks. Yeah, okay. So it makes you completely invulnerable for a limited time. And every time you do get hit, the timer decreases a certain amount. It sounds like. That could be useful. Additional effects will be added as you strengthen your bond with Gamma. Oh, that's another thing. You can increase your relationship status with each party member over time, which, as it says here, gives you additional effects to their power pairing ability, to their SAS power. Let's close that, and let's get into this fight. So, if we just do our base attacks, you can see it's just like a purple attack. That was a perfect dodge right there. That's not me showing off, that's what it's actually called when it slows down like that. So, base purple attack, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Shiden's electricity to it by pressing R1, or holding it down, and then pressing X, because that's currently what his power is mapped to.
I'll do this, Shiden.
And then as you can see, suddenly it becomes yellow, it deals a bit more damage, and it just looks fancier. And then at any point, if you want to cancel the ability, you just press the same button. Hold R1, tap X, and it stops. Now, you obviously can't use these powers indefinitely. There is a time limit to them. Hence the circle around each icon. As you use it, I'll just activate it again actually.
I need your help.
It slowly ticks down, and then when that meter runs out, the effect cancels, and you have to wait for it to recharge again. You can cancel it early, especially if combat's finished, because there's no point keeping the ability active if you can't really use
I'll
it.
do this, Shiden.
You know, because imagine if you did that. If I hadn't pressed R1 and X and this ran down, I'd have to wait a long time for it to recharge. Like, I'm doing this on purpose now, by the way. You know, it runs out by itself. Oh, you can control some of the train cars in the abandoned subway with psychokinesis. They move along rails, so take note of the enemy's position and perform an attack with L2 at the right time. Excellent. Then it'll run out by itself, and then you have to wait a long time for it to be active again. Like at this point, I can't even trigger it until it gets to a quarter full. So honestly, if you're not in combat, just deactivate the ability and save yourself the potential hassle. Okay, looks like we've got 3 enemies up here, maybe according to the minimap, unless there's some further up. So what I might do is run into them and activate Gemma's ability and see what happens.
Why do you want to be the leader so much, Shiden?
It's not that I wanted that bad. I just think the person
Yeah,
suited
not
for the
taking
job
any
should do
damage. Although you still take status effect damage, which is interesting.
Then I'd say
Like, you
Gamma
can
is
get
the right
stunned,
choice.
I mean.
The enemy is attacking with electricity.
Oh,
You'll be
nice.
shocked and unable to move if it hits you.
Yeah, I know, that was just more for like science I was doing that. Sorry, Haruka. So, let's do some combo attacks with psychokinesis. Let's begin by holding R2 to throw something at them. Follow up with a basic attack. And then bring another item into the fray. And then we'll keep going. Now, the red bar is obviously their health. The yellow bar, I forget what it's called, but if you've played any kind of game with a stagger meter of any kind, that's essentially what that is. When that yellow bar empties, they become stunned, and you can perform a special attack on them. Which, so far, has instantly killed every single enemy I've used it against. I don't know if it would work that way against boss enemies, but I haven't had that chance yet. What we're going to do, actually, as long as the others can keep it there, let's move this train. That's not going to hit. Nope. That was a miss, but, you know, the system works. The train
I'm
moved.
going to become stronger than anyone else.
Sure you are. Oh, we've missed an item. We've missed an item. We've got to pick it up. We've missed 2. Here we go. Environment C times 2. There's another one just up and to the right. So I'll grab that when we get around there. Now, the one thing I love about this combat... Well, I say the one thing as if everything else is terrible about it. But I love this combat because the way the powers interact with each other. Not only does it look amazing, not only is it simple to use, not only is it really effective once you get the hang of it, but it makes you feel powerful, you know? And this is the this is the complaint I had against Dark Alliance, like, the thing that Dark Alliance didn't do in making you feel powerful. I know this isn't a dungeon crawler, and it's not designed to be, but it does have several similar traits to it. Namely, you get a mission, you go through an area, and you fight things. You know, at the most base level, it is kind of similar. But this game does make you feel really powerful once you get used to the combat system. Especially when you get to a point where, like I said, you get used to the idea, and you can sort of pair powers together. Like, you can't do that from the beginning. You have to unlock that ability in the brain map. Like right now, I can use both at the same time. Like it says here, this is the first time I've used two powers simultaneously. Normally what happens if you don't have this unlocked in your skill tree is when you activate the second one, the first one automatically depowers. So you don't drain the bar unnecessarily. Let's read what this says. After learning certain skills, you will be able to activate 2 or more SAS simultaneously. Some SAS cannot be activated together. So far, from what I can figure out, based on the tooltip that was given when I activated the ability to use 2 simultaneously, there is another ability which adds fire to your weapon as opposed to lightning. You cannot use the lightning and fire abilities together because they both enhance your weapon, and it just would be weird having fire lightning together, but whatever. That's the only two that the game has said you cannot use together so far. Whether there are any more later on down the line, I don't know. But currently, fire enhancement and lightning enhancement cannot be used together, as far as I know. So, let's carry on. You can use R1 and R3 to disengage all active SAS at once, or you can input the relevant button to disengage one at a time. Okay, so it's just telling you that you can turn all off at the same time if you want to. We're not doing that, however. Instead, we're going to see if we can get 3 of these by throwing this at everyone. That was pretty decent. I like that. Oh! This happens when you deplete their stagger gauge. You can press L2 and just instantly kill them. It's amazing. And that's the last one dead of this area. So you've noticed, no doubt, that there are differences in button you push for some items. Most of them have R2, but the one that I threw then to take out 3 of them at once, that was L2. I should have disengaged electricity there. I'm sorry, shooting. Was L2. L2 is for bigger items, and with those, once they hit the enemy, you can perform a follow-up attack with them. Like you saw there, the left stick was on the screen to rotate, to add attacks to it. That's the only real difference. You don't need to do that, but it does deal additional damage, and I do love anything that gives you additional damage options.
Try not to get lost. I'll be guiding you, though.
So basically, yeah. As I was saying earlier, this combat system and the way it's designed makes you feel powerful when you're doing it once you've got the hang of it. When everything's working together and you get a good combination going, it just feels amazing to be able to pull off all these different things. Like, you throw, you attack. Oh, this is new. What was that? Oh, that was the brain drive. Oh, okay. This is new to me. Again, this is actually being triggered now. Activating brain drive comes with many additional effects, such as increased attack speed, reduced psychokinesis gauge consumption, and reduced lifting time for psychokinesis objects. As we discussed already, you hit harder and faster. So this is going to be fun. Close the current tutorial. So everything I pick up will be instant, essentially. So let's use R2 for this, and you'll see... it died before I could actually do that. But that was hold up. Oh, there's another one over there. Let's bring this over. See if I can... There we go.
Stun the enemy that's soaked in water with electrokinesis.
Let's bring this over. Hit them with that. Bring something else across. There we go. This combat system is so fun. It really is. And honestly, with games like this, the combat system can make or break a game. It really can. If the combat system's terrible, it's gonna feel like a slog. You know, I hate going back to Dark Alliance again and you know, talking crap about that game all the time. But compared to that, this is so fluid. The combat is so responsive, and although the dodging isn't perfect, you know, like, I don't think you can dodge partway through... No, you can't dodge partway through an attack like you can in Dark Alliance. But it doesn't matter, because it's very rare that you're going to be surrounded by enough enemies for it to be a problem.
I'm not done yet.
So, unless you just lose focus, you're always going to have the opportunity to, like, dodge away for a little bit to heal. You know? Let's bring something over to throw at them. That'll do. I can do that train. No, don't hit me, don't hit me. Come on, get close enough to the train. Cancel that. Is that gonna hit? It's gonna hit one of them, I think. I hit one of them. I was hoping for at least two there, but that's fine. I'll take anything I can get. Oh, let's get behind you. The only thing I will say about this combat system is even though you can lock on to enemies, it doesn't mean you're going to hit them. That sounds weird, but lock on, from what I can tell, is purely for a camera point of view. Like, you... The heck is that? Okay, I haven't seen anything like that before, but I'm guessing that's what we're going to have to go and fight next. Which I'm okay with. I'm all for the weird and wonderful. Is that the right way to go? Yeah, it is, I think. We gotta head over there, so we have to head down this way a bit. And there's a couple of save points along the way, which is amazing. Before we go any further, is there... I keep pressing that. It's options, not touchpad. Is there anything else I need to explain here? Not really. Story just tells you what phase you're on, what chapter you're on, essentially. SAS we've covered, brain map we've covered, equipment is obvious. You can change weapons, you can also give people plugins. Other games would call them like accessories, that kind of thing. So I've got a health boost for Kasane. I don't currently have enough to give one to Shiden or Gemma, but I think I've got a different plugin. Oh yeah, I got Power Enhance and Waterproof Coating. Which do what they say. Power Enhance, it says there, increases a user's power. Waterproof Coating, it makes them resistant to, like, the water status effect. You know, and there are quite a few status effects. So far, I've encountered water, burning, oil, electricity, and I think there's one more, but I can't remember what it was. And they all do the kind of things that you'd imagine. If you're covered in oil, you can be set on fire easier. If you are set on fire, if you're burning, you get dealt damage over time. Electricity stuns you, you saw that earlier on. And the water one, I think, makes you more likely to... I think it's more likely to slip and fall over when running. I'm not 100% sure. I've only encountered that once, but I think that's the basic idea. Oh, this guy's got a lot of armor. This could be a problem. Is that heavy enough? I don't know. It's not an L2 one. An L2 item would work wonders against this, but I can't see any close by, so we might just need to keep hitting it. Never mind. You guys can just deal with it. That's fine. Just you know, ignore all tactics. It doesn't matter. I was trying to be strategic, but you guys just wailed on it until it died. That's fine. Oh, look, it's another one. Do you guys want to repeat the last one? That's fine. I'll just walk around and not do much. Ah, there we go. L2, perfect.
It's done.
There we go. That's how you're supposed to do it, I think. But these guys didn't read the rulebook clearly. Which I'm fine with, honestly. I don't mind that. So yeah, this is pretty much Scarlet Nexus in a nutshell. Let's try hitting you with the smaller objects. Yeah, I'm trying, but I don't want to die. Oh, you broke the shell. There we go, that makes sense now. Everything makes sense. The shell was broken, they just beat up on the juicy innards or something, I don't know.
Focusing really hard, right? Apparently bias has a function to adjust brain
Sure, I suppose.
allowing for easier control of brain drive.
It's only a supplemental system. You need to control your power by yourself.
Yeah, makes sense, I suppose. Alright, so, we currently have 5 light jelly. Let me just go to the shop and then I can buy some more. I think I've mentioned this, but light jelly is essentially this game's potion. And it recovers 30% of max HP, so having some is always useful. You can only carry 10 at a time of these. Which makes sense, because some RPGs you can buy, like, 99 of a healing item, and then it becomes easy mode at that point. Normalization tablet, cure status elements. Although I have been hit by a couple so far, they haven't been really debilitating yet, so I don't need to worry about it too much. I might actually give a health boost. Or 2. Actually, let's do this. Let's buy 2 health boosts. I've already got 1 power enhance, so let's buy another 2. Oh no, I haven't got enough slots on Shiden and Gamma. Did I buy them? Oh, I bought them anyway. I wasn't... You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I've got them on hand in case I need them. Shiden, you can have the power enhance. Same with you, Gamma. Actually, you can all have a power enhance. Even Kasane. There we go. Now you all hit it slightly harder. Amazing. What was the visuals? Oh, visuals is just skins, I imagine? Oh, okay. Weird, but sure. I can't change her main clothes. I'm not sure if that's things you get during a game, or if it's something you can... Like rewards, I mean, or if it's a thing you can get later on through exchanging. I don't know. I guess I'll find out at some point. But yeah, this is basically Scarlet Nexus in a nutshell. Or, you know, Scarlet Nexus, if you were to pronounce it properly. Combat's excellent. I love this art style. Animations are smooth. Everything's nice and fluid. It makes sense. It's got a skill tree. And I love skill trees, as you will come to know. Again, options. Come on. And it's just got a lot of different systems that make sense. The way that attacks and abilities can be combined from your party members and they change is just fantastic. It all works so well together. And yeah, I would honestly recommend this game if you in fact like the look of it. And I can't really say much more than that, honestly. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.